Hey everybody, this is Blue
and Delta,
YuGiOh Anime Games, and today we're showing you our updated modern Joey deck profile.
That's right, we got a couple new cards for him in Supreme Darkness, and we made a few other tweaks too, adding cards we didn't have in here before.
So we definitely wanted to show you guys an updated version of this deck, and yeah, we know there's a new super awesome Red Ice card coming in Alliance Insight. So the deck will of course be updated again then, but this deck saw some meaningful changes and we wanted to just put that out there for you guys.
To start us off, we have Blue Flame Swordsman. Classic Joey card, but it works very well with his new Flame Swordsman support and that whole archetype.
Those of you that have been around the channel for a while know that this card has dealt a lot of damage on this channel. Blue Flame Swordsman absolutely stands out as being a very powerful card despite being from the original anime.
Yeah, and especially in our modern decks that don't have a lot of negates that aren't as powerful as the meta, the battle trick to, increase attack is pretty useful. Then we have Fiden Flame Swordsman.
So this, of course, is just the truest retrain of Flame Swordsman. Although it did go from 5 stars to 4 stars, but just lets you play it from the deck like a regular monster, like it always really should have been.
Yep, and this one is really good at just getting you started and tying in with the archetype. Giafried, the Red Eyes Iron Knight.
So it was definitely interesting in that they took a lot of Joey's monsters that were disconnected, because like a lot of characters, Joey's monsters were just an assortment of various things. He had a little bit of a warrior theme going on, like Kaiba has a dragon theme and Yugi has a spellcaster dark magician theme. They took a lot of those monsters and they made them Red Eyes centric. And you know what? We're not going to complain. They look really cool and it makes the deck have a little bit better synergy than his original decks did.
Then we have Gilthea, the D-Knight Soul Spear.
So this was a 5-star monster that they left as a 5-star monster, but making it playable from the hand in the duel, not a fusion, and of course its first effect plays homage to the fact that Joey mistakenly tried to summon it in his first turn in Battle City.
Then a very classic retrain, Goblin Elite Attack Force, because Joey did play Goblin Attack Force.
Although we're still kind of waiting for a
more modern,
little spicier. Spicy Goblin Attack Force.
Let's see. 100 Dragon. This one just looks awesome. Let's just get that out of the way right away.
So it was really nice that they actually, hard to call it like a direct retrain, but really taking something between the Baby Dragon and 1000 Dragon, making it a new monster that fits that family.
Yeah, it's got to be in here. I mean, we don't have 40 other modern or retrained Joey cards we want to include, so definitely this one's going to be in there. Jinzo, the Machine Menace.
So Jinzo retrain is just awesome. It bumped it up to 7 stars though. I thought that was interesting. It's been I like that they're retraining a lot of the classic monsters, but it's interesting how some are getting bumped up in stars, some are getting bumped down in stars.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see what Konami decides to do. Metal Illusionist, they've decided to give us a few support cards of Joey in a lot of the packs lately, and we're really happy that even in these core sets, we are getting awesome cards like this. They're developing like a Metalmorph theme for him. Really cool to see.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, we had a bunch of cards going to a Red Ice theme, but like Delta just said, there is a Metalmorph theme that Konami is starting to grow in Joey's deck. And you know what, though? We're here for it. Like, this is awesome. It's bringing in some more synergy and, giving the deck a nice, some mechanisms to work around. Originally, Copycat had nothing to do with Metalmorph, and now they've just combined them, and
we're not complaining. Then we have the new Metal Flame Swordsman. Really cool monster in its own right, and has a helpful effect to let you add the max Metalmorph cards from your deck to your hand. So yeah, we'll just take as many of these as we can get. Mirage Swordsman. Came out with that, Flame Swordsman support, developing that archetype for Joey. Very cool. Very glad we have it. And if you're not already subscribed and have the notification bell clicked, what are you waiting for? We are your place for things relating to the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, for character decks, for these modern decks, for lists and videos talking about the anime. You're going to want to make sure you're subscribed. Then we have Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. So similar to Kaiba's modern deck where we have Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, we have this Red Eyes in here.
And just to touch on this quickly, let you guys know, when the new Red Eyes comes out from Alliance Insight, it will replace this and the original Red Eyes in this deck. We have this to give a new Red Eyes to the deck, but the new one is really something that I think we can all agree is a really good, well done retrain of Red Eyes.
Yeah. Then we have Red Eyes Baby Dragon. Baby Dragon retrain that ties into the Red Eyes theme. And then Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon. Just, I love this Metalmorph support so much. So, you're seeing like Red Eyes Baby Dragon wasn't in here to begin with, even though it's not a new card. And here's another one, Salamandra, the Flying Flame Dragon. Not in here originally, but we really realized that we kind of undercommitted to the Flame Swordsman support we got. And again, Joey does not have a full 40 unique other modern retrain cards, so we're going to include what we have.
Yeah, depending on how we see the Metalmorph and the Red Eyes archetype grow, based on some of the recent stuff that we're seeing from Konami, yeah, of course that might change, but for now, it's nice to see the Salamandra and the Flame Swordsman stuff.
Then we have the OG Time Wizard, which is in here to support the retrained Time Wizard that's in the Fusion deck. Extra deck. Red Eyes Black Dragon. Like we said, it's in here until we get the retrain. Then we have Lord of the Red. I mean, why not, right? With not only this card being a good card Joey played, but us having the room to incorporate some of his original Red Eyes support, we felt it was appropriate to have it in here. And then his last monster is Paladin of Dark Dragon. Then we have, to nobody's surprise, Dark Dragon Ritual. And Dragon Nails. So again, an original card, but one that works beautifully with the support because unlike the original anime card, which simply gave an attack boost and nothing else, this does have effects that are useful in the current game.
Yeah, so the thing that frustrates us about our classic decks is something we do like about the modern decks, which is that when Konami lately has been printing cards from the original anime, even as far back as Duelist Kingdom, cards that had one simple effect, Konami has added several effects to them to make the cards more viable outside of, I don't know, a YouTube channel playing really old school vanilla decks.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Fighting Flame Sword. Great to just get all this Flame Swordsman support, or to have gotten it. Flame Sword's Realm. Then we have the original Foolish Burial. There's use in dumping monsters, and again, we'll keep some original stuff until we have 40 new cards with Joey, and we've added Foolish Burial Goods, which does synergize pretty well with a lot of these spells and traps that have effects in the graveyard.
With the classic decks, there's so few cards that you want to dump into the graveyard because they just kind of don't work that way. But modern decks, yeah, dump it in the graveyard, then get a better effect than if you drew it.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Hey Trunade, not as powerful as the original Giant Trunade, but it is a retrain, and we try not to have like Pot of Greed in these decks. We had Cyberjar and Kaiba's Marn deck. It's being changed, so we do want to use the retrains when possible. Then we have Red Eyes Fusion. Again, laying in on the Red Eyes support. We also have added Red Eyes Insight. There is a lot of other Red Eyes support that we could have included. We didn't want to go overboard with that. We really leaned into the Flame Swordsman support, and we're really going to lean into the Metalmorph support. But we're working on other modern character decks that may feature more of the new Red Eyes support. Then we have Red Eyes Transmigration for Lord of the Red. And we have Salamandra Fusion. Then, like many characters, Joey gets Spell Card Monster Reborn. And the last spell is Super Polymerization.
So this drew some controversy in our original debut, but we kept the card. It is definitely a upgraded retrain of Polymerization, and despite its anime association with the select few characters, it is a very powerful card that Joey definitely can make use of.
Yeah, it lets us summon some monsters from the extra deck that aren't really that practical to summon for Joey otherwise, but are retrained in modern cards. Double Magical Armbind, which is a Magical Arm Shield retrain.
So not a new card by any means, but still a good card for, anime modern.
Drastic Drop-Off. A retrain of Drop-Off. This Scapegoat. Scapegoat is a classic Joey card. Another new one, or the other new card we got from Supreme Darkness, Flame Coating Metalmorph. Great new addition to the archetype. Then we have Flame Swords Dance. Again, really want all that Flame Swordsman support in here. Then Max Metalmorph, the card that this new Metalmorph archetype centers around. Then we have Red Eyes Fang with Chain and Salamandra with Chain. So yes, in some of our characters, we don't always have two new retrained versions of the same card, particularly if we have a lot of other cards for them, like Yugi. But in this case, we did want to get both these in here, right? They're two great different retrains of Kunai with Chain that both speak to different centerpiece archetypes of Joey's. And then finally for the main deck, Trap Hole of Spikes. Joey has a lot of extra deck cards. We'll start off with Fighting Flame Dragon. Then the original Flame Swordsman, which you can summon out with the Flame Swordsman support. Guilty Gearfried, the Magical Steel Knight. So this is one card that benefits from Super Polymerization being in here.
Because despite the fact that it is clearly based on both Guilty and Gearfried, it's just made of two warrior monsters. So yeah.
Then this is the other card that really benefits from Super Polymerization, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So, we're definitely happy to have cards in here that we can make in certain situations based on what decks we duel against.
Without being able to put a lot of context into the shorts, this was kind of lost from a lot of people that said that we couldn't make this card. And of course, that's true. This deck doesn't make the card, but many of you know, and some of you new people may not know, these decks are all designed to play against each other in our character deck meta. So having Red Eyes Dark Dragoon in here is meant to be used when the Joey deck plays against the Yugi deck and steals Dark Magician.
Then we have Red Eyes / Dragon, a new inclusion that we had omitted in our first version of Joey's deck. Time Wizard of Tomorrow, like we said, that's why we had to have Time Wizard in here. Then Ultimate Flame Swordsman, really powerful boss monster for the Flame Swordsman archetype. And then the last card is a Link, Ferocious Flame Swordsman.
We touched on it a couple times, and we're just going to keep reiterating that despite the fact that these are modern decks, we really don't want to venture too much into Synchro, XYZ, or Link territory unless they really are a card that would fit to the character's deck. So Ferocious Flame Swordsman is a Link, but is clearly a Flame Swordsman, as opposed to SP Little Knight, which, yeah, it's very good. It's a lot of meta play, but it's not something you're going to see in this deck.
And there you have it. That's our updated Joey Modern deck profile. Hopefully you like that. Hopefully you guys like that.
If you're a fan of the anime like we are, then check us out. We have a lot of content for the anime, like tier lists, top lists, very faithfully recreated decks, and then modern decks with a nice new spin.
And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.